Good morning, friends. Hello, hello. Yet, here we are, another week on this Holy Week. A reminder to you all that this Thursday we'll have our Monday, Thursday service at 7 o'clock. Hope you, with communion, a service of shadows. It's a really beautiful service, so hope you'll make time for that in your Holy Week observances. Good morning, Kristen. Hey, Karen, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Little Yeti mug up. Hey, Vicky, hope you're healing all right. Hope you're doing good this morning. Pray you're doing well. Hello, everybody. Hope the day is treating you all right. It is gray and chilly, and although the calendar tells me it's spring, it is coming hard here today. So hope wherever you find yourself, there is a little more beauty in it. It is a lot of grayness out there today. Good morning. All right, got one or two more folks coming along, and we'll get going. All right. Great to see everyone this morning. Let us begin. It is the 26th day of March at 11:11 on this Tuesday. I am glad that you're part of this journey as we enter into Holy Week this week. I pray that there's some goodness in your days. There's goodness and joy in the midst of this week as we prepare to walk through this last week of the life of Christ. One of the things about this, when we look at just Jesus's ministry as a whole, when we look at Bible and how it's recorded, nearly a quarter of what we have in the New Testament, not New Testament, in the Gospels rather, sorry, in the different accounts of Jesus's life, about a quarter of that is nearly dedicated to the last week of his life. There is this way in which this time that we find ourselves in right now is zoomed in on in the account of Jesus's days. That there's lots of places where it says, "Oh, and he went to Capernaum and healed a lot of people," and healed and cast out demons. That there's all these ways in which there are these broad strokes throughout his 3 years of ministry. But it is this week that things zoom in on. And I don't think that's obviously that's not an accident, but I think it says to us that there's something important about this week and the way that the way that we see it unfold, the way that we keep its observances, and the way that we notice what is happening. Particularly, as the natural world comes alive again, so too is this our path towards life and life in abundance again this week, as we hold out this week. So this is holy. This is, and it's already been a week, right? I mean, it has already been an incredible week. We have the incredible tragedy down in Baltimore with the destruction of the bridge there and the ship striking the abutments and the loss of life and the way in which that radically changes a whole bunch of things that we might not know about. The way that there's people in the crosshairs of the law right now that are out there that weren't a day or two ago. That there's a whole bunch of stuff that's unfolding right now in this week. So it's kind of a little bit of a holy week, like holy Batman Holy Week, Batman. It is that we're not just marking the passage of this and the remembrance of this that which happened ancient and long ago, but also the chaos of the world, and all of these things that would point us towards the breaking down of things, and the things that just aren't helpful, and things that seem to be about that don't feed the world in a way. And so this again is Holy Tuesday. So every week of every all the events of each day are actually really well mapped out within the gospel. As I said before, there's this way in which that a quarter of the gospel account are really centered around the last week of Jesus' life. And so today actually begins with this this trip back into Jerusalem. Yesterday on Holy Monday, Jesus goes into Jerusalem and flips over the tables. If we remember, the famous account of Jesus flipping tables and driving the money changers out of the temple, that happens on Monday. And every night he goes to spend the night in Bethany. So there's this, and Bethany is just 2 or 3 miles outside the city, but you can see there's this ebb and flow. He'll go into the city and kind of do some stuff, and then he'll come back out for the night. He'll go into the city and do some stuff and come back out for the night to spend time with his friends, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. They become his Bethany. They become quite literally, they're the place of the base in which he finds the most home in this world. And as he's leaving that place, this place of hearth and home and friends and joy, and going back into the city to do his work on Tuesday, he will encounter a fig tree. It's the first thing. It's the first account of the day, and it's what I want to kind of center us on today. In the morning, this is from the 21st chapter of Matthew, verse 18 on. So, in the morning, when he returned to the city, he was hungry, and seeing a fig tree by the side of the road, he went to it and found nothing at all on it but leaves. And then he said to it, "May no fruit ever come from you again." And the fig tree withered at once. And when the disciples saw it, they were amazed, saying, "How did the fig tree wither all at once?" And Jesus answered them, "Truly I tell you, if you have faith and do not doubt, not only will you do what has been done to the fig tree, but even if you say to this mountain, 'Be lifted up and thrown into the sea,' it will be done. Whatever you ask for in prayer with faith, you will receive." This has always been one of those that Jesus comes out of the gate on Holy Tuesday, the beginning of the day. They're not even on station yet. They're not even in Jerusalem yet, and Jesus comes out of the gate swinging. I suspect it's why there's been that these days prior to Jesus' death and resurrection are so well recorded and well thought over, because all of his teachings in this time have this pointedness and this power that there's, and certainly Jesus is always teaches with pointedness and power, but Holy Week is even more so, that he brings this point where he encounters the fig tree that bears no fruit. And I think it's when we look at our Holy Week that we've already got going, and it's Tuesday morning, and we have ships crashing and stars being arrested. That even in the midst of this, it's only Tuesday. That in the midst of this chaos of the world, we There's a sense of what can we do about that? How powerless are we to, you know, powerful rock stars that want to abuse their position? How powerless are we to ships crashing into bridges? How powerless are we to wars raging around the world? How powerless are we even to affect change in our own life? How powerless are we to lose the 10 pounds we want to lose? That in many ways we can look at our lives and we can see, and we can make a long litany of places which, we can see some greenery, but there's no fruit. We're not. There seems like there's nothing that's bearing anything that would sustain any of us. And Jesus points to that and says, if you have faith and do not doubt, you will not only be able to wither that which does not bear fruit. I want to talk about that, because that's, I think, maybe the most important thing of our day right now, is to actually curse the non-bearing fig trees of our lives. There are so many succulents there are so many plants that are sucking off our well of hope. There are so many parasites that are sucking off the truth and understanding of the goodness of our days. There are so many things that are drawing away the water of life that's a part of our being, that bring us back no fruit, that bring us back no encouragement, that bring us back no goodness, that bring us back nothing that helps our lives in any way. That when Jesus curses the fig tree, he's showing us that actually, with the power of faith, with the power of Christ, we can actually cut the things off that seem to, the vampire squid of our life, that seem to have their blood funnel stuck into us and just draining us of all life and goodness. And they're out there. I mean, we all have different ones, but they're out there. Maybe they're kind of a toxic person in our life. Maybe they're our addiction to the news media and I hate using the word addiction around that sort of stuff, because it's really a different thing. But our attraction and our shiny in the news media, that we always have to make sure we know what this political person is doing, or what that political person is doing, or what's happening in the world, because that it brings us no goodness back, absolutely none. And we're hungry. We want to know good, the true, and the beautiful in our life. We want a life filled with joy and abundance and happiness. We want a life filled with health and wealth and wonder. And yet there's these suckers that are out there. This is tree pruning time. Actually, it's after tree pruning time. Tree pruning time was a couple months ago. But in tree pruning time, the first thing my mother taught me was cut off all the suckers. And she says, how do you know a sucker? Well, because the suckers are growing straight up, and they're not going to bear it, and they're not going to bear any fruit, and you cut them all off. Friends, what Jesus is saying is that when we look towards him, when we look towards what is the true, what is the true, the good, and the beautiful in our life, when we look to the things that are true and good and beautiful, in which he is the embodiment of, when we look towards those things in our life, and when we have faith in them, when we believe that they will in fact take us somewhere, rather than just an indulgence or a thing we're supposed to do, when we look to them and we have some faith in them, it will actually cut off the suckers of our life, the things that are draining us, will actually wither. And it will seem almost miraculous. It will seem almost miraculous. I've talked with people who the idea of transformation seems impossible. Someone who maybe was caught in addiction, and the fact that they might be a different person and not be the person enslaved to the thing that's sucking their energy away, that they find that impossible. But friends, it's not impossible, and it's actually what the great gift of Christ coming into the world is pointing us towards. That we can ask in prayer and in faith, and we will receive. Now, I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how it's going to play itself out in your life. It probably won't look like we imagine it is, and so often we get hung up on that. We get hung up on this is what it's supposed to look like, and because what God is trying to give us doesn't conform to our idea of how it's supposed to be. We somehow say, well, that's not it. But more often than not, if we can simply keep leaning on Christ, keep leaning on that perfect in the world, if we can keep leaning on the things that do actually feed and bring life, and in our hunger will that it's Christ's job, not ours. It's Christ's job to actually have the suckers wither, and have the fig tree that would bear no fruit wither away, have the things that would steal our energy and our life and our peace and our innocence and our compassion, the things that would steal that, to have them cut off and pushed away. Friends, there's the headlines. I can already see that this is one of those weeks that the headlines alone are going to try and drag all of us into some sort of frenzied worry or frenzied thing. And I'm not saying you can follow them or not follow them. I'm not saying don't. But what I am saying, well, I actually am saying don't if you really listen close to what I'm saying. But maybe simply we should measure these things by this measure of faith, this measure of invitation that Jesus starts Holy Tuesday with. So will you cut off the things that don't bring you fruit? Will you cut off the things that don't feed you? Will you cut off the things that do nothing but steal from you? And not just cut them off, but in it, bring your attention, bring your life, bring your energy, turn your face towards the one who brings all good things, who knows all good things, and has and wants to give you all good things in faith and in prayer. All right, friends, that's my hope for you this week. We have events coming up. There will be no 11:11 on Thursday because I will be doing the invocation at the Vietnam Veterans Remembrance Day at City Hall. On Thursday night, we will have our Maundy Thursday service. It's at 7 o'clock here at 282 Rock Street. It is a beautiful service. It will be live streamed as well, but I hope you can make it in person. We have communion, and it is really a wonderful way to keep the vigil of this week. And on Saturday, we will have a Easter egg hunt for the city, and always a great time. You get to watch 10 minutes of absolute abject chaos by hundreds of children pawing all over each other. It's great fun. And Sunday morning at 10 o'clock, we will have our Easter service with incredible music and lots of goodness. Hope you have a great day. Curse that fig tree in front of you. Curse that thing that is not bringing you joy and is not bringing you peace, is not bringing you love. Let God's work be done in you with faith and with truth and with hope, that good and grand and beautiful things may be a part of this Holy Week. Peace and grace to you, my friends, and we'll pick it up tomorrow with another 11:11.